Hey guys, welcome back to Mindy's Monthly Marketing Tips. In today's modern age, the power of advertising extends far beyond promoting products and services. It has the ability to shape societal norms, challenge stereotypes, and foster inclusivity. In this video, we'll explore the importance of inclusive advertising and why it's crucial for businesses to embrace diversity and representation in their campaigns. So what exactly is inclusive advertising? It goes beyond simply featuring diverse faces in advertisement. Inclusive advertising encompasses a holistic approach that embraces diversity, representation, and social responsibility. It's about authentically reflecting the diverse world we live in and recognizing the unique perspectives and experiences of all individuals. Inclusive advertising is not just a moral imperative, it's a strategic necessity in the modern age. By embracing diversity and representation in advertising campaigns, businesses can effectively reach and engage diverse audiences, build brand loyalty, and gain a competitive edge in the rapidly evolving marketplace. In today's market, inclusive and diverse advertising is more important than ever. With increased awareness of the diversity in demographics, consumers are actively seeking out brands that align with their values. A study conducted by Adobe shows that as many as 61% of Americans find diversity in advertising to be important. And another study showed that 63% don't see themselves represented in most advertising. So, by incorporating inclusive advertising practices, businesses can establish a meaningful connection with customers and build long-lasting relationships. From Dove's Real Beauty campaign to Gillette's touching ad that features a father teaching his transgender son how to shave for the first time, we can all learn how to embrace diversity in our advertising and connect to a real and genuine audience. One of the benefits of incorporating inclusivity into your advertising efforts is an increase in customer engagement and brand loyalty. Consumers are more likely to purchase products or engage with your brand if they feel they are represented in your advertising. This is because you're providing them an opportunity to actually see themselves using their products, as well as the majority of consumers state that they are more likely to remain loyal to a brand that stands for diversity and inclusion in online advertising. Another benefit is the expansion of your target market and reaching underrepresented customer segments. Did you know that 1 in 4 people in the United States are disabled? Have you considered not only showing disabled people in your advertising, but also have you made sure that your ads are even accessible to those that might have certain impairments? Or what about the LGBTQ population? According to a survey conducted by Gallup, 7.1% of Americans identify as LGBTQ+, and that number triples when you look at the percentage of Gen Zers. So, does your advertising reflect the realities of these millions of people? By showcasing a diverse range of experiences within your advertising, you're not only expanding your potential audience, but you're also fostering a relationship of trust with your customer base. In the highly competitive marketing landscape, businesses cannot afford to neglect any sections of their audience. So by incorporating diverse experiences in your advertising, you're opening your marketing up to reach and resonate more people. In theory, incorporating diversity into your marketing is pretty straightforward. All you have to do is highlight people from all walks of life, different races, ethnicities, sexualities, and gender identities. Showcase people with different disabilities or families other than the traditional nuclear family. Feature bodies of all shapes, sizes, and ages. The possibilities are as endless as the world is varied. An important thing to remember when highlighting experiences that are different from your own is to take the time to listen to those that have and do live these realities. As an advertiser, it is our duty to research and understand our target audience and make sure that we are representing these communities in an ethical and realistic way. Collaborate with people and organizations that actually represent these communities to ensure that you are portraying them to the best of your ability. Avoid perpetuating harmful stereotypes and remain sensitive to the ways your messages may be received. Which brings us to my next point: intention versus impact. While your intention with a campaign may be perfectly benign, you should also consider the impact it will have on your audience. Take, for example, Pepsi's highly controversial Live for Now commercial. The ad featured Kendall Jenner joining and then leading a group of protesters towards a line of heavily armored police officers. Kendall steps forward, offering one of the officers a can of Pepsi, and the crowd rejoices when he accepts the beverage. While the intention of the ad was one promoting unity, peace, and understanding, the impact it had was quite the opposite. Pepsi pulled the ad the next day after facing public backlash and being accused of making light of the Black Lives Matter movement. This is a perfect example of the delicate balance we advertisers must maintain while creating our marketing campaigns. No matter our intention, we must always remain sensitive to the actual impact our messages will have on the very real communities we are trying to present. Another thing to remember when incorporating diversity into your marketing efforts is to avoid neutrality. Nothing is worse than a fair weather ally, so it is important to take a firm stance on what you believe in. Take, for example, Bud Light's recent collaboration with TikTok influencer Dylan Mulvaney. Bud Light, a company that has had LGBT inclusive advertising dating all the way back to 1995, flushed years of hard work, advocacy, and brand loyalty down the drain with their response to public backlash towards this collaboration. When conservatives loudly voiced their criticism of this marketing tactic rather than standing their ground, Bud Light instead repealed their support and placed the marketers responsible for the decision on leave and offered an apology not to the people actually impacted by these protests, but to the people that took offense to the transgender woman daring to drink a beer. This response is the worst possible way to handle such a situation. Instead of showing support for their customers and faith in their decision, Bud Light instead lost the loyalty of two major demographics and showed that they are not confident in their decisions. They showed all their years of allyship and advocacy were conditional, and this cost them not only 17% in sales, but also the trust of the LGBTQ+ community. This is why it is important to stand firm on your decisions to include diverse experiences in your marketing. Another reason to avoid neutrality is the active impact this will have on those underrepresented demographics. Showcasing diversity actually demonstrates a culture-wide support for these marginalized groups. Inclusive advertising can actually influence social change, and that's not something to take lightly. Diversity and inclusivity has the power to positively influence your brand and society at large. So with the expectations of consumers today, standing for a cause makes an impact. When considering inclusive advertising, there are a few things you should be aware of. Firstly, avoid stereotypes and tokenism in your marketing. The easiest way to avoid this pitfall is to collaborate with individuals that are a part of the demographic you're actually trying to represent. Always listen to these experienced voices and never speak over them. Another thing you should be prepared for is potential public backlash. As we saw with Bud Light, inclusivity is a hot and surprisingly controversial topic right now. As marketers, we should know in advance how we are going to respond to trolls and critics should they arise. Your highest priority should always be the safety of your employees. By recognizing the potential challenges and proactively addressing them, we can navigate any obstacles that arise and continue on the path of fostering inclusivity within our marketing strategies. I hope we've shed light on the importance of inclusive advertising in the modern age. We've explored how embracing diversity and representation in advertising campaigns can effectively reach and engage diverse audiences, ultimately benefiting businesses hoping to stay up to date with the current times. To ensure a more inclusive approach, it is critical to consider diversifying your advertising efforts. By actively seeking out diverse perspectives and incorporating them into your advertising strategies, you can make a positive impact and contribute to a more inclusive society. Challenge the status quo and strive to break stereotypes through your advertising choices. Encourage authentic representation and empower underrepresented groups. Let your advertising be reflective of the diverse world we live in. And it doesn't stop there. I urge you to take action and support marginalized voices. Support organizations and platforms that promote diversity and inclusivity in their content. Remember, your support and engagement does matter. Together, we can create a more inclusive and represented advertising landscape. So let's make a difference by embracing diversity and promoting inclusive advertising in the modern age. That about does it for this video, and I hope you learned something new today, and I hope you know the steps to take to make the world a more inclusive place. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe so you never miss an upload. If you have any questions or thoughts you would like to share, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next video.